Welcome to the NSIC Spotlight, the voice of the NSIC student athletes, powered by gpac. gpac, growing people and companies. I'm your host, Nick Corner, Assistant Commissioner at the Northern Sun. Today, we are joined by Camden Dean of the Sioux Falls football team. Camden, thanks for joining us on the Spotlight.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
All right, we do this every week. We start off with you telling us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, again, I'm Camden Dean. I'm a junior here at Sioux Falls. I'm originally from Lakeville, Minnesota. I attended Lakeville South High School, and I'm a business major here.
Lakeville South grad, your brother Gavin just committed to play at USF next season. What was it that drew both of you guys to the University of Sioux Falls?
Yeah, first off, I'm super excited to have him here as an older brother and hopefully someone he looks up to. It's an honor to have him here, and I just want to pour all my knowledge and everything I have into him. But for what brought us here, for me, I started my collegiate career at Mankato with Coach Glow. And ironically, I had the best relationship probably with him, which is weird because I'm on the offensive side of the ball and he's on the defensive side of the ball. Um, so I think that speaks volumes to who he is as a person. So once the season ended my freshman year at Mankato, I entered the transfer portal, and Coach Glow, luckily enough, took the job here, and he asked if I wanted to come with once I was in the portal, and I was like, "Yep." I didn't need a visit. I knew what I was getting with Coach Glow. I wanted to be part of what he had going here.
All right, and Sioux Falls is off to a great start. We're just about a week removed from the coup going into O'Shaughnessy Stadium and handing St. Thomas its first home loss in 31 games. Crazy night with weather as the game was delayed over 2 hours. Talk about the pregame and having to wait out that storm.
Yeah, it was interesting. We've been there before, which is good for us. But no, we got out there ready to go, warmed up on the field, and they told us that there's a 2 hour delay, so we all went inside. They put us in their basketball gym, so for us, it's just kind of we just got to be ready. We didn't really know when we were gonna go, if it was gonna be like a 2 hour delay. There was talks that it might get pushed back the next day or even canceled. So for us mentally, we just had to be ready, ready for whatever. It didn't really phase us, but we were anxious and ready to get out there.
Yeah, an early score by St. Thomas, but after that, you settled in 17 of 29, 189 yards. You added 65 more yards on the ground, including a score. What was clicking for your offense last Thursday night?
Yeah, obviously not the ideal start. Throw an interception and then they score all within a minute, first minute of the game. But last year when we got in those situations, we usually never came back. Like once we got down, we stayed down. So I think that was a really impressive thing that we showed our fight and our resilience to get back into the game. But offensively, again, we started slow, but after that first couple of drives, we were moving the ball. We had 40 minutes of time of possession, which is huge. And our offensive line did a really good job. We knew what they were going to do. They were going to bring pressure from every which way and all the time. So the offensive line had a lot on their plate that week, and they did a really good job. They gave me enough time to do what I had to do. Tight ends, Mark Leonard and Travis Yankee, they did a heck of a job. They're the staple of our offense. The tight ends, they got the hardest position on the field in our offense. So they did a really good job. Makes me feel comfortable as a passer and a runner. Dylan Rundigan had one heck of a game. He's worked his tail off all off season. So for him to go out there and put up a couple touchdowns, some receiving yards was super satisfying and fun to watch. Matt Grzybowski had some good runs, couple touchdowns, and then Christian Nash had some good runs as well. And then the receivers, they had a really good game as well. Curtis Slykehouse, he had a heck of a game. You always know what you're gonna get out of Slyke. Jalen Taylor played a good game, and then Adonis made some really big plays when he had to.
The offense was rolling, but the defense was lights out. They gave up that first score. Then they shut the St. Thomas down, allowed 8 first downs and only 22 rushing yards. Talk about that defense.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was really impressive and really satisfying. Those guys have taken a lot of criticism this offseason, the players, the coaches. So, I'm happy for those guys. I'm happy for Coach Cap and Coach Glow. I think that helps them believe and really show how good they can be. And, as an offense, knowing that they're going to, if they're going to let up 2 yards of offense the first half or 2 yards of rushing, and they're going to get 3 and outs like that, we're going to be all right as a team. So that was awesome to see. And I'm really happy for those guys.
You're coming off a 3-8 season a year ago. You still got a lot of things to prove this year, but how does an early season win like this help propel you down throughout the season?
Yeah, we knew we were gonna be a different team. We knew it was gonna be different, but getting that win really shows that we can be really good. Um, Again, like I said, we already had the confidence that we were gonna be good, but just for to have the proof and to go 1-0 to beat a pretty good team like St. Thomas, that's really huge for us. Huge for us to get a good start like that and not have to be from behind.
Another road game this weekend as you head to Aberdeen on Saturday at 6 p.m. Play Northern State. What do you know about the Wolves, and what will it take to go 1-0 this week?
Yeah, Aberdeen's a fun place to play. They have probably one of the most electric atmospheres at this level. Night game, and they have some passionate fans, and it's gonna be a fast, physical game. We're ready for a fight. Um, we're just gonna outrun, outwork, and outhit them. So we're coming every day, locked in, focused, and we're excited for this one. This one's a huge game because it's the next one. So we're ready to go.
You kind of hinted at this, but Coach Glow is in his second year after coming over from Minnesota State. But the culture, what is the culture he's brought to this program?
Yeah, Coach Glow. Obviously, the first year is difficult. Like people don't really see much of it. Um, but having 50 guys transfer and then having zero seniors, it's hard to create a culture with guys you've never seen before, never met before, and not having that senior leadership like we didn't have last year. But he's done a good job this year. We have a few things that we defend and believe in, and all those guys have bought in, which is I think a big reason why we are having the start we have, and we're just hoping to continue to work along that.
Only a junior. What are your season and career goals with the Cougars?
Season obviously we want to go 1-0 every week. I know it's easy to look past that and say you want to win the big one, you want to win a conference championship and a national championship, but you just gotta go 1-0 each week. Um, for myself, I just want to be a good leader, a good teammate, the most confident person on the field every time I step on, and the most prepared. For career, again, you want to win, but it's more than just winning football games. Again, I want to be when I'm done here. I don't only want to be looked at as like a good quarterback and a good football player, but, as a good person, as a good leader as well.
Final question for you. What advice would you give to a young player, maybe your brother, to help them in their development?
Yeah, I feel like you don't hear this often, but I feel like for a young player, you have to learn how to deal with failure. Um, Failure is part of the process, especially when you're coming to a collegiate football team, college football team. You're not going to be the man. You're not going to be the guy like you were in high school right away. So learning how to deal with failure and learning that's part of the process, because, the ones who deal with the best are going to thrive and have good careers. And, the people who can't deal with failure are the ones who are going to end up quitting or not have a successful career. So, yeah, I'd just say learning to deal with failure because it's part of it.
All right, some good advice. Thank you very much for sharing that. That's going to wrap up this week's show. Thanks again to our sponsor, gpac. Camden, best of luck to you and the crew the rest of the season.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me again.